Hey, hey, what's going on, fellas? It's Czar here. I wanted to go in here. I've already taken a look at the ban list. This isn't a reaction. I don't want to be another reactor. Um, I want to scroll through the list that we have. And what I want to do with it is I just want to go over what the ramifications of each hit are. Basically, looking into the future, maybe the immediate future, or if I can, the distant future of the format, and see what we can expect. Um, I'll go ahead and tell you right now, not much has changed. They just made the power gap between the best deck and the best cards wider. Um, so we'll start off with Snow. Snow's the one hit that Tier took, pretty much. No more Snow, but this is also a hit to other decks too. Things like Punk, you can't mill this off Chaos Ruler. The Punk pile decks. Um, I was expecting, based off of this list, for Punk to be relevant again after the list, but it's not the case. All you're going to be seeing now is Mystic Mine and Tier. It's like as far as Tier 1. I don't expect anything else to be competing. And the reason is because Ronin Totem is now banned. As you all know, the Swap Frog engine, the Toad engine in Sprite, is the primary target for your Gigantic Sprite plays. You do your stuff, then you go into Gigantic, you get your Toad. Um, Not happening anymore. The only version of Sprite that can really play Toad now is the Diva version. So the best build of Sprite is the only build that was. It was the build that was hurt the least. I know, right? It makes it a great hit, if you ask me. Hitting the strongest version, making the strongest versions of stuff, still good, and making the more creative and worse builds of stuff worse. Great work. Um, let's see. Let's scroll down. You got Hulk banned. Everyone was pining for this, so I guess if there had to be a silver lining to this list, Hulk going, okay, cool. Even though I don't think like Hulk was way worse of a card before now. I would argue that Hulk was okay at this point. It's not really anything it can abuse. But if you want to ban it now and start releasing all the stuff that got hit for its sins, which we'll see in a second if they do start, by all means. Chaos Ruler. Another hit to Punk. Very necessary. Punk was dominating the format. If you looked at event top lists, all these things, Punk was right there at the top. You know, Punk was beating Tier, Punk was beating Mind Decks, Punk was stomping on Sprite. So, very necessary to hit Punk in this format because just how dominant they were. They were bordering on Tier 0 last format. So, I'm kidding, by the way. This hit was not necessary now, and while this hit is probably good for the longevity of the game, why now? You know, it it, it just doesn't do a whole lot. We'll move on. They finally banned Red Reboot. Um, cards toxic. Literally, why was it ever even printed to begin with? So I understand it. Will this card ever come off the list? Probably not. Um, but now we see a buff to Mystic Mine. Are you going to be able to stop your opponent's metaverse from resolving? Not without Ash. Just mind burn decks are still going to be are going to be better now because people aren't going to be playing this in preparation for it. This is the only card that can really stop mind burn plays, and it's gone. And you know what we didn't? You know what we didn't hit? In case you haven't seen the list yet, you know what we didn't hit as far as talking about on a list on banning? We didn't hit Mystic Mine. Mystic Mind's not here to talk about. It's not at 2. It's not at 1. Obviously, they didn't ban it. I've got that part of this list on my screen right now. Mine is still here at full power. So it's still going to be here defining entire events, defining the game around the not playing. So take that for what you will. But yeah, all in all, Red Reboot probably a good hit for the long term. Right now, it wasn't the time. Genuinely, that's my thoughts. We got Steam the Cloak. It's hard for me to say whether or not this is going to do anything. This is Konami's current flavor of powerful card that was banned because it was just too good at a time when links were new. Will it be good now? I don't know. I actually can't predict that. But a free link 3 off of one card just for existing might warrant this seeing play, but with it being at 1, not sure. Not too sure, but it's a very good card regardless. Just gotta wait and see if it sees play. But we might see decks tech this in. We just won't see decks built around it. So this card's not really going to change the format. And in a similar but slightly worse way, Cyberjar is a flip monster. It's got a powerful effect. It's a flip monster. Will we see it played? Probably in meme decks. We won't see it played in the same way as Steam. It coming back is fine. Just clean up the ban list a little bit. That's all. O-Lion. This is what I was talking about before. They're putting it back after hitting Hulk. This is coming back. Will it see play? Not with Hulk banned. Nothing's going to play this. You want to play pure Mecha Fan of Beast? I don't even know if they play this card. So, there you go. You got your O-Lion back. This card was hit for that card's Hulk's sins, so. Substitute. Do we have to worry about Substitute FTK? Not with Ronin Totem banned. So I guess in that light that's good. But Substitute, not going to do anything. Just another card to clean up off the list, especially now with Ronin Totem banned. We literally won't see this do anything. Moving on down. Spellbook of Judgment. More janitor duty. Just Konami taking their mop and taking it across the list. Things that shouldn't be there anymore. Taking it off. Spellbook of Judgment is just one of those cards. You know, what are spellbooks going to do in the modern day when we have such high octane decks and removal so free? And the main win con of spellbooks being the Floodgate Jowgen, the only thing that could keep them on pace with everything in the game right now. So small. It's not going to do anything, if you ask me. Spellbook of Judgment is just a cool book to have. You might, cool card to have. You might see this at locals. Especially early on when people want to test for it. Not other than that. And then a pointer. Is this good for the game? Hand rip cards in general have been unhealthy in Yu-Gi-Oh's history, you know. Obviously, you got your obvious ones like Delinquent Duo, Confiscation, Forceful Sentry that have been banned for it literally since before I was born, because I'm only 12. But is this the time for it? This is another one of those cards where it's like you play this card and it's the only thing that can really help you prevent mine from hitting the field. You a pointer and your opponent stand by your draw phase, and you look and see if they have mine. Okay, mine's gone. Get that out of here. So in essence, not only do we have a situation where mine was not touched whatsoever, the hits on the ban list around it have actually buffed it. Because Metaverse is now unstoppable besides Ash. That's one less card that can stop Metaverse. And a pointer is 2 less cards, because it's now limited from 3 copies. A pointer is now 2 less cards that you can play to prevent your opponent from seeing mine in their many facets, whether that's Demise of the Land, or Metaverse, or Terraforming, or mine itself, just hard drawn. You can't stop it. Ash. Ash is the only way, and if your opponent drew the mine itself, well, tough luck. Hope you have a negate on board. I don't know, man. Dynamite, whatever. The unlimited section these days is just whatever. Dynamite, whatever. Ben 10, whatever. Drytron's not going to do anything now with an extra Ben 10. Um, Shooting Riser, sure. There's nothing really great to mill. Besides, if you want to do Scythe play still, because those are still legal. Great job, Konami. The full Scythe, all the Scythe locks are still legal. So that's another healthy aspect of the game to look forward to. And probably early format, we are going to see Scythe blocks come back into the game. It's an early format type of thing, where people are still solving the format, so we're going to play Dagda Scythe. You are going to get Scythe locked until people solve the meta, and then people are going to move off of Scythe. And this is just going to keep happening until Scythe gets hit, or Dagda gets hit, or Shooting Riser gets re-hit, because Dagda's not the only line in the modern day to see Scythe. So that's what you have to look forward to. Fusion Destiny to 3, I think, is actually probably the most interesting unlimit, because 3 copies of the fusion spell for DPE, with the, unlike Master Duel, we still have both Celestial and Daster, the optimal Garnets, might be worth it. We might be seeing people play Fusion Destiny again. I might give it a shot. I love DPE. It might be boring to just end on the same boss monster all the time, but DPE at 3 is actually a mine out. So I'm actually excited for this one. I'm going to pick up my 3rd Fusion Destiny again, and I'm going to try this out in some decks, I think. Nadir Servant could be interesting. Extra deck Foolishes are very powerful from what we've seen, but I don't know if we'll see it do anything. Light Stage is also interesting. Trickstar as an engine for body spamming has always been an interesting idea that some decks can abuse. So we'll see if that goes anywhere now that it's at 3. And then Wall of Revealing Light, who cares? It's just a bogus card that was still on the list from before. So, in summary, what can we expect? We can expect Sprite to be worse. We can expect Tier to be just about the same. We can expect all the other decks in the meta to be just slightly worse. Punk's probably a lot worse, but who knows, people are probably going to start labbing and they'll come up with something to make Punk just as good. Because Punk played a lot. Punk was a pile deck. It played a lot of cards, and while Chaos Ruler was a powerful part of that engine, they've still got access to loads of other things that could, help them out. Pick the deck back up a little bit. It's obviously not going to be as good as Chaos Ruler, but who knows? Punk's very flexible. But yeah, that's essentially what we'll see. We'll still see Mine. Mine Burn is still going to win events. We're probably going to see Runic Sprite. We're probably still going to see Diva Sprite, because that deck's the only one that can, of the Sprite builds, that can still make Toad. Tier's obviously going to be powerful, and Tier's going to be uncontested more than anywhere else when the Ishizu cards come. So prepare for that. And that's about what you can expect, honestly. We're running into a tier-dominated format with not really much in place to contest it to the same degree that Sprite contested it in the OCG. But on top of all that, the looming threat, the shadow over the entire land of Yu-Gi-Oh!-nia, Mystic Mine lurks in the darkness and is waiting to prey on its next victim, and it could be you. So prepare your MSTs, prepare your Cosmic Cyclones. We got a long one ahead of us, boys. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think of the list yourselves, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.